GB Cycles here with an update on October the 20th. So I think we are getting close to a possible major top here, anytime the next 4 weeks. But is it before or after the US election? I'm not quite sure. I've been quite busy lately at my work. I'm in the administration of the local government in the town where I live, with a population of about 21,000, and we're in the closing process of making next year's budgets. So, but I have to have a look at the markets too. So here we see we didn't get this, what I call would be a healthy dip to complete a consolidation. But is it the green one, or will it extend? We have to see. I'm not quite sure about the 2 and the 4 week cycles. They seem to be a little bit disturbed or shifted. But this was possibly the 2 week oscillation low at that time, and that this second dip was maybe just a disturbance. And now this small dip we just had a few days ago, that was possibly a 2 week oscillation low, but I can't really say. It's a bit messy at this point. So I'm not sure if my cycle is working at the moment or not. So let's zoom out a little bit. We have the 3.5 year cycle here in red, and I have these zones, a green bullish zone and intermediate yellow zones and the very bearish red one. And we see we are at the very end of this bullish phase. So this next phase we are entering, anything can happen, and if the market hasn't broken down by May next year, then it certainly will next summer. Yeah, we are getting very close to where the market could start breaking down. And my trading rules would normally be: do not short until do not make short positions, short trades before you enter this yellow zone. So we're getting close. I had this scenario for a possible bull market high around the election. And well, I had 2 scenarios, one in red and green, and we see in black here we were at the crossroads here with a little fake dip. Looked like we were making a double top, but no, now we are back following the red one, and it's very few weeks left here before, if we are following this, then the bear market should start after the election. I had this other cycle of 73.5 weeks with a possible setup of call it an inverted cycle, similar to the previous bull market high. So this is how we are aligned compared to this previous one. So we are very close here. And when I'm looking at the wavelets for the S&P, we are in a very similar setup as these 2 previous tops. These 2 are analogs, and we see we are, just a day or 2 or away from a possible. Well, if we repeat these 2 patterns, we should start breaking down in just a very few days. But let's switch over to another thing, because I have these 3 cycles, and the composite of these 3 cycles here is bullish into the election. And I really don't like to go against these cycles, especially like this one. It's bullish. It says don't get bearish until we get closer to this top. So I think it's too early to get bearish. We still have a bullish influence from these cycles for another couple of weeks. And when I'm looking at the VIX wavelet, this one is in fact, well, I should say the VIX has had some trouble in identifying these oscillations lately, but right now the VIX says, yeah, that was it, that was a top. Now the VIX should go down, and when we invert for the S&P, it says the S&P has made a low and the S&P should go up, giving me the same message as my cycles. So but looking here at my wavelets, I could see this extend a bit further into, well, you know, a week or two. But it could also repeat this pattern from these 2 points, break down here. You know, this pattern, this length of this oscillation, we had something similar also not that long ago. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong place. It's here, yeah. Let's see, this was summer last year. So this one is very similar to this one, and you know, and very similar to this oscillation here, like this, or from this low into this top, or from this low into this top, roughly. So yeah, I think, you know, here we could even see something more bullish. If this is the end, the very end of the bull market, we could see some, call it a false breakout here. Let's look at the longer trend. You see, we have this trend channel in this bull market, and mostly we are within these two red lines. But we see here we broke out of the red one, but just for a short while. Now again we are above this red trend line. So yeah, you know, we could have some euphoric squeeze here at the very end. But when this is over, when we are breaking the trend lines, breaking down here, we could have a deep, nasty correction and signaling that this bull market is over. So, you know, when we start breaking this line, perhaps it's possible. So I'm not quite sure if I should respect my cycle here or not, but if it's still working, it is still bullish for another few days, and then it would suggest a downswing. Yeah. I think that's it for today. I have no precision say predictions for this coming week or weeks. Just that, yeah, in general we are close to making a top, but you know, it could be 4 weeks away still. It could be after the election. I wouldn't like to go against my cycles and say something else. It is possible we break down earlier, but I would say still most likely no market crash before the election. We'll have to see. That's the best I can do for today, and see ya.